Now let's perform some operations on these data types. So let's create an integer a equals 10, integer b equals 20. Now if I want to add those two numbers, I will say a plus b. So this will add two numbers, but I need to store them in another variable. So since I'm adding two integer numbers, I'll get integer as the result. So I'll create one more variable c. Now this value of c is going to be a plus b. So it should be 30. So let's print this and see if it is printing 30. There you go. 30 is the answer. Now if you just change the value from 10 to 11 and run the code again, you don't have to make any other change and it will print 31. So this is how you can create a variable and assign a value. You can create a variable and assign a value which can be calculated and then assigned. So we are doing a calculation here first and then the assigning the value to C, and it is not what we call it as hard coded value. It's a expression evaluation that we are doing. Similarly, you can use other operators like multiply. This time it is going to be 200. There you go. And you can use minus. So A is less, B is bigger, output is going to be negative. So 10 minus 20 is minus 10. And divide. The regular divide we used to do. We have one more operator for doing a divide, that is modulus. Now in case you want the quotient, you will use this divide. In case you want the remainder, you will use a modulus. So 10 divided by 20, let's make it opposite to make it easier to calculate. So 20 divided by 10, the quotient is going to be 2. Let's run the code and see. There you go. But if I use a modulus here, this will tell me what is the remainder. Remainder in this case is going to be 0. So if I run this code, it will say 0. So these are the operations that you can perform on integer and as well as float. So for now, what we have learned is that we can perform operations plus, minus, multiply, divide only on integers and floats, not on characters. But what if I want to join two characters, two messages like hello and world, hello and people? So in that case, you can use string. Now string, as you remember, needs to be in double quotes. So I will say hello, and then here I will come and say world and make this also a string. Now I have two strings. I will store it in another string and joining them. So here plus will not act as mathematical plus, rather it will concatenate, join these two words together. And if I print them, you will notice that they are together. World hello, that's because B plus A. If I say A plus B, then obviously it will be hello world. But there is no space in between. So you can manipulate as we have seen by adding spaces, removing spaces, those will be personal.